and merits and demerits. Okay, then comprehensive illustration of drafting a questionnaire. So here comprehensive illustration will be there. So we will see in while we are going to discuss this unit number 4, and unit number 5, that is interpretation of data and report writing. Okay, in that, meaning of interpretation of data, source of errors in interpretation, precautions to be taken while interpreting data, meaning of and need for report writing, characteristics of a good report, components of a report, and do's and don'ts. This is the block number 1. In block number 1, there are 5 units are there. So these 5 units are completely theoretical only. So these 5 units are very much interesting. So okay, we have very less time. In this less time, whether we will cover or not cover, don't worry regarding that. So I will try to complete all the blocks. Okay, so which are the important and which are the interesting blocks, that only I am going to cover. And if you have any free time according to this unit, you go for preparing the notes also. Notes is important. Meanwhile, I will share the notes also. You take the screenshots. Okay, so this is about block 1, and block 2, relational analysis and forecasting. Okay, relational analysis and forecasting. So no, why should you phone the photo card attendance photo the time series analysis in the unit number 6, definition of time series analysis, significance of time series analysis, preparation of data adjustments before analyzing time series, then components of time series, secular trend, cyclical variation, seasonal variation, random variation, irregular variation. So these are regarding the relational analysis. Okay, so here in these relational analysis and forecasting, the important topics are here, that is trend values, seasonal variations, simple averages. Okay, so please wait a minute, I will take one photo of your attendance. So the next one is here. In a time series analysis also very much interesting topic. It is completely degree based. Okay, moving averages, so trend analysis, ratio to trend, everything will be there. And here residual method, references, cycle analysis of method, direct method, harmonic analysis method, methods of measuring the irregular variation, additive method, multiplicative method. Okay, these are the different methods we are going to see. And unit number 7, and here unit number 7, see in the unit block number 2, unit number 6, it includes some problematic as well as theoretical information. And for examination point of view also, we will get some problems and theory. And the next one is unit number 7, correlation analysis. It was interesting and a good topic, that is a definition of correlation. What is actually correlation, means what, and the definition of correlation will be see. Okay, the next one is, wait a minute. Significance of correlation. Actually, why this correlation is important, and how it is playing an important role in our daily life, as well as what types of problems are involved in this chapter. We are going to see types of correlation. They are the positive correlation, negative correlation, linear, non-linear, or curvilinear correlation. Okay, these are the different types of correlations. We will discuss and we will see the difference between these types of correlation also. The next, in the types of correlation, in addition to that, simple, partial, and multiple correlation also there. The next one is methods of studying correlation. The first method is a scatter diagram method. Okay, In scatter diagram method, there is a graph will be there. According to that graph, we are going to see. Then correlation graph. Okay. So in a graph also correlation graph is there. Generally, the question will be given. According to that question, we need to set the points and we have to decide the graphs. Okay, where the graph is adjusted, where line diagrams or bar diagrams, we are going to see. The next one is the important next one is Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Okay, in Carl Pearson coefficient of correlation, this is a complete problematic part. In these Carl Pearson coefficient of correlation here, you observe carefully. So here Carl Pearson coefficient of correlation, we have two methods. Okay, here first method is actual mean method. Okay, first method is actual mean method. Actual mean method means according to the problem, we have to decide that this problem belongs to actual mean or assumed mean. Same problem will be there for actual mean and assumed mean method, but in the calculation part only. After finding out one value, the value is called averages. Whether if the value is in decimals, not in a fraction, then we can say this method belongs to actual mean method. If it is average value is that is called x bar or y bar value is in fraction, then we are going to apply assumed mean method. So we will discuss in the coming classes regarding this topic. The next one is a rank correlation. Rank correlation also very much interesting and very important topic. Like see in the schools generally in your childhood or in the 5th class or 6th class or 10th class, you observe once you remember your school days. In school days, what happened here? The students, those who are getting good marks, for them, the school class teacher or the head of the institution, they will give one badge that is called first in rank. So yes or no? Sai Swapna, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen. So here in rank correlation, generally we will giving the ranks. Okay, rule number the person who scores highest marks, the student who got highest marks, for them the rank will be given first in rank. The second person who scores less marks when comparing with the first rank candidate, he'll be giving second rank. Sometimes what happens here, 2 students or 3 students, they will get the same marks. Out of 600, they got 500, 500, 500. So for these 3 students, which rank? Either we need to give second rank or third rank or fourth rank. It is not possible to give for all these 3 candidates different ranks. So we are going to give one equal rank. Okay, so when ranks are given, when ranks are not given, when equal ranks are given, that rank correlation topic we are going to see in the rank correlation coefficient. Okay, the next one is concurrent deviation method. Concurrent deviation method is also, this is also one of the interesting topic. In the concurrent deviation method, see, with the help of a plus sign, minus sign, we are going to do the problem. Okay, here in the problem, you need to remember the formulas, nothing but principles. If you remember the formulas and the principles, and if you remember the method how you are applying this principle, then you will score a good marks in these subject, and this subject is a scoring subject for you. Then probable error, okay, it is one of the another problematic part, and coefficient of determination, that is lag and lead method, lag and lead correlation method. So these are the correlation analysis. The next unit number 8, that is regression analysis. Okay, in regression analysis, we are going to see the definition of regression analysis, what actually regression analysis means, and why we have to study the regression analysis. Okay, then here utility of regression analysis, difference between correlation and regression analysis, regression lines, method of least squares, fitting regression equation. Okay, fitting regression equation. Yes, okay. So here fitting regression equations, regression coefficients, then standard error of estimate. So here x on y on x, sometimes x value will be given, so they will be asking us to find out the y value also. So these type of problems will be discussed in regression analysis. Okay, so unit number say You observe carefully. Unit number 6, 7, 8. Complete from these 3 units. We are going to see the problematic, some problems and some solutions. Then the unit number 9 is here, business forecasting. What actually the meaning of forecasting? Anyone? What is the meaning of forecasting? Shirin, Sai Supna, or any other person?
Estimation.
Estimation, yes. Any more? What is forecasting? Anyone? Forecasting means what? Sai Supna, what is forecasting? Right. So listen here. Forecasting is nothing but the future estimation. Okay. In future, if this value is there, in future this profit we are going to gain. So that is called the forecasting. So in this chapter, we are going to see meaning of forecasting, importance of forecasting, why we need to forecast, and what are the steps involved in forecasting. Forecasting for long-term decisions, forecasting for medium and short-term decisions, forecast control, limitations of business forecasting. So these are the block 2 units. So these units also important. And from unit number 9, just note down while I am dictating, just note down. Unit number 9, we are going to see only theoretical concepts only. There is no problematic from unit number 9. Then next one is block number 3. That is a probability and theoretical distributions. In probability and theoretical distribution, we will see here the first unit number 10 is, that is elements of probability theory. Okay, just the theoretical concepts we are going to see in this unit number 10, meaning of probability, the concepts, sample space, sample points and events, types of probability. Prior probability means what? Empirical probability means what? Subjective probability means what? Calculation of probabilities, fundamental rules of probability in case of simple events, in case of mutually exclusive events, in case of compound events, conditional probability, statistical independent events, Bayes theorem, mathematical expectations, appendix, permutations and combinations. So here unit number 9, we will focus on the only important concepts only. So put together, see unit number 10, unit number 11 and unit number 12 put together. Okay, I will combine all these 3 units only at one place, and I will teach the theoretical as well as problematic also. Okay, so here on the Ambedkar University people, they done just this is together they divided these probability into different according to the convenience of the students. Okay, according to the convenience of student, they divided this one. So at one place only I will teach complete this chapter. So unit number 11, probability distribution, that is binomial and Poisson distribution. So from binomial and Poisson distribution, and this is a problematic part. And you observe in unit number 10, Bayes theorem is there. See, Bayes theorem. In Bayes theorem, it is also problematic. Okay, and very simple here. I will dictate one table. You need to remember that table only, just like a small pro forma. If you had this pro forma, if you remember this pro forma, very easy to calculate this Bayes theorem. In Bayes theorem here, what happens here? During World War II, a military mutiny has taken place, and much losses are there. Soldiers, they sacrifice their life. So here the Bayesian is a person, he introduced this Bayes theorem to overcome these type of problems. So in that here what happens, some problems like this, a machine produces 70% output and the machine B produces 30% output. Even though they are producing 70 and 30, some defective items are there. That is machine 1 5% and machine 2 1%. So just identify what exactly the defective items are there. So we need to write some theoretical concepts. In addition to that, there's a table will be there like events, prior probability, conditional probability, joint probability, then prior probability, posterior revised probability. These are the 5 columns we are going to write, and according to question we will place all the values in the place of events. Machine 1, machine 2 will be written. Okay, output information will be written in the second column. Then condition what the defective items will be written. Then second into third column we will be doing the multiplication. After getting the that multiplication total value, okay, in the fourth column the first value divided by the total, second value divided by the total, we are going to get posterior revised probability. So this is regarding Bayes theorem. And in the probability distribution and binomial distribution, See, these binomial and Poisson distribution also problematic part only. Okay, so which problems we are going to discuss in these chapter, that problems are expected, and number of times the same problems are repeated. So please try to attend all the classes. Please don't absent for my class, especially. Why? Because I am covering the very important concepts and important problems only. So everything is prepared, everything is ready made, it's available. So while the class is going on, if you want the notes, take the photocopy. Okay, so just I will read this one. Probability distribution here. Meaning of random variable. What is random variable? We are going to discuss definition of random variable, discrete and continuous random variables, the probability of mass function, expected value of random variable, variance and standard deviation of random variables, importance of random variables, types of probability distributions. How many types of probability distribution are there? We are going to see. So here, binomial distribution is important. These binomial distribution also called as Bernoulli trials, concept of binomial distributions, parameters of binomial distribution, fitting of binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, concept of Poisson distribution. Okay, then when to use and how to fit a Poisson distribution. With the example problems, we are going to solve some problems also. Okay, solve some problems. So the next one here, that is a normal distribution. That is normal distribution. In normal distribution here, you observe carefully, this is also in normal distribution also we have some problematic as well as theoretical concepts. So in normal distribution, we are going to draw a one diagram that is called build shape diagram. Okay, you observe, you see this one. What is normal distribution? Definition of normal distribution, parameters of normal distribution, characteristics of normal distribution, normal approximation to binomial distribution, central limit theorem. Okay, and how to measure the area under the normal curve. So these are the units, very much important. This is a unit block number 3. Okay, and in the block number 4, statistical estimation and hypothesis testing. Okay, so statistical estimation and hypothesis testing here, that is unit number 13, introduction to testing of hypothesis. Okay, so this unit number 3 is completely theoretical base only. That is central limit theorem, population, sample and sampling distributions, test of hypothesis, the concept of standard error, type 1 error and type 2 error, two-tail and one-tail test, estimation, hypothesis testing procedure. Okay, this is completely theory. And unit number 14, that is test of significance of attributes. So here actually the problematic part is ready to start here. What is meaning of an attribute, and difference between an attribute and variables, estimation and test for number of success, test of number of success, proportion of success, test for proportion of success, test for difference between proportion. So in attributes, these 3 concepts are there. In addition to 3 concepts, again we are going to discuss more concepts here. The next one here, sampling of variables, that is large samples, objectives of studying sampling of variables, difference between large samples and small samples, assumptions relating to large samples, estimating population mean, test of sample mean, test of 2 sample means. Okay, so regarding the large samples, this is also problematic. The next unit number 16, that is sampling of variables, small samples. The concept of degrees of freedom, yes, degrees of freedom concept will be there here. The next to student T distribution, properties of T distribution. T stands for students T distribution, assumptions of T test, application of T test, limitations of T test, how to refer T table. Okay, there will be a T test table will be there. Table includes the we call it as a critical values or table values we call, and after getting the calculated value, the calculations are done by you. These calculated values should be compared with the table value, and we are going to write a small conclusion. Okay, so how to refer a table? I will show a table while we are discussing this chapter, this unit. At the time, if you want to take a table, then go for a search any book, or you can get that table values from internet, from Google also. Just type student t test table critical values. Okay, you will get that one. Then confidence interval for population mean, testing the significance of mean of a random sample, test of single mean, test of two independent sample means, then different test. Okay, these 13, 14, 15, 16, these three chapters, I'm sorry, these four chapters are comes under testing of hypothesis and estimation. Okay, the next one is here, unit number 17, that is chi-square test, test of goodness of fit, test of independence of attributes, its correction, uses and limitation of chi-square. This is a separate chapter and a good chapter, interesting chapter also. This is not chi, not chi, that is chi-square test, test of goodness of fit, in test of independence of attributes, its correction, uses and limitations of chi-square test. Then next one is unit number 18, that is analysis of variance. The short form of analysis of variance is ANOVA, ANOVA, ANOVA. Okay, ANOVA is a good and interesting topic. In ANOVA, theoretical concepts is there. In addition to theoretical concepts, we call it as techniques of analysis of variance. This is completely theory. Okay, then next, in ANOVA chapter, in 18, this is unit number 18, analysis of variance. There are two methods. Method number one is one-way classification. Method number two is two-way classification. These two methods are there. These two methods are interesting and important methods. In these two methods, see, for your examination point of view, one-way classification is question is there means there is no two-way classification question. If two-way classification is question is there means one-way classification is don't expect. Okay, so these two methods are important. Very simple and very easy, these two methods. Okay, so here there is a proforma will be there. There is a proforma will be there. If you buy that proforma, you need to find out the value. Like see, 5 columns are there here. 5 columns. In these 5 columns, first column belongs to source of variations. Then second column, sum of squares. Here source of variations, sum of squares, degrees of freedom, mean sum of squares, variance ratio of f. Okay, so here between samples, within samples, between samples, within samples here. So SSE, sum of squares between columns or between samples, like this table value there. So just by the table values. If you by that table, then it is very easy to identify the problem and it is very easy to simplify the problem, one way and two way. If you attend from today to the last class, okay, I promise you that you will get a good clarity regarding this quantitative technique subject. You are going to get a good marks. Okay, then next, this is a block number 4. The next block is here, block number 5. In block number 5, we are going to see statistical quality control. Okay, in statistical quality control, we are going to see the concept of statistical quality control, methods of statistical control, statistical quality control, process control, control charts are there. Okay, in control charts here for variables, control charts for arithmetic mean, control chart for range, control chart for standard deviation, control chart for attributes, control chart for number of defects per unit, control chart for fraction defectives, control chart for number of defectives. Okay, advantages of statistical quality control and limitations of statistical quality control. So here in statistical quality control chapter, some problematic is there. Control charts will be there, R chart. Okay, like that the charts we are going to see in detail in the class while we are discussing that chapter. Then unit number 20, that is statistical decision theory. In statistical decision theory, see here nature of what is a decision first, the nature of decisions, elements of a decision, then statistical decision theory, decision situations, deterministic situation, risk situation, under uncertainty situation, choice of a decision criteria, decision tree analysis, advantage of decision tree analysis, limitation of decision tree analysis. So here in the statistical decision theory, unit number 20, the complete theoretical information is there. In addition to that, we will see whether the problems are there or not. We'll check while we are discussing this topic. Then unit number 21, that is game theory. In game theory, generally here, see, this is also interesting one. Game theory, meaning of game theory, properties of a game, assumptions of a game, types of games, two-person game and n-person games, zero sum and non-zero sum games, two-person zero sum games, max mini and see here max mini and mini max. This one is mini max. It is a typing mistake. Mini max strategies. And then saddle point. See, these are the problematic part here. Saddle point. Mixed strategy. This is the second method. And the third method, that is dominating strategy. Okay, dominance ruler, dominating strategy, solutions and methods for game. And here linear programming method. Linear programming method means, in linear programming method, again there are two types of problems are there. The first one is a linear problem, that is graphical method, and here that is the next one is here, simplex method. Okay, these are the topics we are going to see in this block. Okay, so these are the 5 blocks are there. Okay, any doubts, anybody regarding the syllabus? So I will start the unit number 1. Say yes or no. Are you there in the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you have any doubt in these all units, how many units are there total?
6, sir.
21 units are there, 5 blocks are there. Okay, 21 units are there, 5 blocks are there. So while the class is going on, you take the photocopy also for your notes, regarding notes. If the notes is available, no, don't worry, just listen the class. If you have any doubt, you can ask the doubt. Okay. Is there anyone previously listened my class in the month
No,
of
sir.
Jyoti Prakash? I think you attended the previous classes.
Yes, sir.
Which class you attended? My class?
Business environment.
Yes, business environment. Okay, I think your exams also completed, no?
Yes, sir.
You got results?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is your percentage?
76, sir.
Oh, good.
72, sir.
Good percentage. Okay, I think,
78, sir.
oh, good, nice. So you are every day you are working hard regarding your examination point of view.
Nothing much, sir. But
Okay. Okay, right. Good luck for these exams also for this semester, and especially this my subject, quantitative techniques. So today we will start the unit number 1, and we will go through the what is quantitative techniques and what are they there, and research, basics of research, process of research. So now the time is 2:05 till 3 o'clock. The class will be there, and every class the same time 1:30 to 3 will be there. If any changes are there, means I will inform you before only. So tomorrow you had a class 1:30 to 3. Okay. Right. Wait a minute. I will share the screen of that unit number 1. Screen is visible, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, listen here. This is the unit number 1, that is the introduction to quantitative techniques. So first, My question is that why we need to learn by heart this subject? What is the need of this subject? Anyone? Why we need to by heart and why we need to listen these class particularly? What is there any importance this subject in our daily life? Whether it is useful or not? Yes, answer from anybody. Yes, what happened? Speak.
Yes, sir.
So listen here. The introduction of the quantitative techniques here. So the socio-economic life of a man became increasingly complex with the fast changing technologies and lifestyles. Already we are living in this situation only. So every day, what is going to happen, we don't know the next minute. Okay, here severe competition is there. The byproduct of globalization became an unavoidable component in every segment of economy. So we are in a competitive situation and a complex situation. Day by day, the technology is coming with a good technology, and we need to update the technology also. To update the technology, we need some supporting skills and some extra skills also. So here we need to give a competition in this globalized situation. So especially in administration and business. So here decision making, the core responsibility of a policy maker and top managers was once based on subject matter such as observation. So here in administration point of view, the top officials and like policy makers and the top managers, they should have a good experience and they should intelligent guess of the decision maker here. They should be an intelligent candidate. They should sit in that responsible chair. Why? Because they should be in a position to estimate the future and handle the present situation, okay, to overcome this complex situation. So now it is shifted to database which provides accurate base. Okay, in today's world of business management, a small mistake in decision making leads to heavy losses or a complete closure of a business. Such condition diverted the attention of planners towards quantitative techniques, making it an important tool in decision making. Okay, then next here, decision making, goal, programming and policy framing. Knowledge of quantitative analysis and quantitative techniques is essential to those who wish to develop their career in any economic activity where competition is a threat here. So listen here. So day by day, the competition is huge. So here the quantitative techniques and quantitative analysis skills are required to a top level manager or the policy maker to avoid the losses here. So if they do any small mistakes, immediately there are chances are there. It leads to heavy loss and a complete closure of a business. The chances are there. So that is the reason the quantitative subject plays a vital role in taking decisions for the top level management or by the top level managers. So here the quantitative techniques concept, generally quantity is the root from which the concept quantitative techniques is developed. The term quantity literally means the ability, okay, to be measured through the measurable units in numbers or symbols such as weight, length, etc. The word quantity is derived from a Latin word quantum libet, which means as much as you please. Okay, quantity indicates we call it as a weight or a length. With the help of weight and length and the numbers and symbols, we are going to measure, and it was derived from a Latin word quantum or libet. Quantitative is a concern with quantity. It can be explained as a numerical expression of information or fact against qualitative expression here. So you observe carefully. In the morning, if you go to market, if you purchase any vegetable, okay, there will be involving our subject quantity. Based on the quantity only, you are going to decide the money, how much money you need to give to the that merchant. Yes or no? So here, if you purchase tomato, it costs 10 rupees per kg. Per kg, how many grams are there? Anyone?
1,000.
1,000 grams. Yes, 1,000 grams. We will observe the measurement. Okay, the computerized measurements are there nowadays. In that computerized measurement, we are going to observe, and sometimes the shopkeeper also, if it cross 1000, 1150, he will remove one product from that basket, and he will give only 1000 grams to that 10 rupees. This is the situation. Okay, here the fact qualitative expressions and the numbers will be deciding what amount of quantity they need to sell and what amount of quantity we need to receive. So here the quantitative techniques involve the introduction of the elements of quantity such as numbers, symbols, and other mathematical expressions. Here symbols, numbers, and mathematical expression means here. So while we are doing the problems which are there in quantitative techniques, here we are doing the problems with the help of numbers, and while we are calculating, the symbols also involved. Symbols indicates plus sign, minus sign, and division symbols. Okay, and some other any mathematical expressions here. So here qualitative statements examples are there here. You must show good progress in sales in the next quarter. Marketing manager is expecting big amount for advertising the product. So these are the quality, regarding quality point of view. Then quality expression examples, you must improve sales by 15% by next quarter. See, these 15%, the number will be deciding factor, and you are going to take a good decision based on this number. Then marketing manager is expecting 50,000 for the advertising the product. By observing both the above example, it shows that qualitative expression. Please wait a minute. I'm getting one phone call. So here, by observing both the above examples, it shows that qualitative expression lacks measuring units in numerical form. Quantitative quantitative expressions requires units of measurement in numbers, which can be also called as data. Okay, these are the two examples regarding qualitative. So the definition of quantitative techniques, they are given by the different statisticians. We will see these quantitative definitions. So if anybody want, just take a photo. Okay, as the name indicates, plural form, it contains more than one technique or tool. Thus it can be term can be defined as here. The number one, there is a CR Kothari says that quantitative techniques may be defined as those techniques which provide the decision maker with a systematic and powerful means of analysis and help based on quantitative in exploring policies for achieving predetermined goals. See, predetermined goals are fixed in advance. If we want to achieve that goal, we require some quantitative techniques and qualitative decisions also. So here these definitions says that quantitative technique may be defined as those techniques which provide the decision maker with a systematic indicates a proper steps we are going to follow, and powerful means of analysis. Powerful means of analysis means here a particular formula is applied for a particular problem to get the accurate result and take the help of that formulas, and we are going to apply in this. Then you systematically the implementation will be there to achieve the predetermined goals. This definition was given by Kothari. In addition to that, I referred some books. In that books, these definitions are there. The definition number 2 is here. Quantitative techniques are the devices developed on the basis of mathematical and statistical principles and formula. Okay, so here it has the based on the mathematical and statistical principles here, and the formulas also involved here. The next one is here, quantitative techniques refers to a group of data based on tools designed with mathematical and statistical models here. See, mathematical as well as statistical, everything is involving here. Mathematical is nothing but here numbers will be there. Statistical is nothing but some formulas, some principles we are going to apply. In addition to that, the involvement of number is there. Based on this number, we are going to take the decision. Then the next fourth one is here, quantitative techniques are the methods that provide a systematic base in the form of numbers, mathematical formulas, symbols, etc. for analytical study of the problem. See, analytically we are going to study the problem. Analytically means a deep investigation will be done with the help of mathematical formulas and symbols, and the numbers will be analytical study, and we are going to identify the problem. Okay, in automatically we are going to solve the problem also. Then simply we are going to achieve the predetermined goals here. Okay, the next one, number 5 here says that quantitative techniques are numerical descriptions of quantitative process and analysis extensively applied in the study of problems and process of decision making here. See, quantitative process, it involves a numerical description here. So to take the decisions here. So quantitative techniques here, you observe carefully, it is defined as a technique which provide the decision maker. Decision maker means who here? The policy designer, the company CEO, the person who occupies a good chair. That person is called the decision maker. And the decision maker, a systematic and powerful means of analysis based on quantitative data. It is a scientific method. Scientific method means what? What is scientific method? Anybody? Scientific method. What is the meaning of scientific? Yes. Anyone? Anusha, Jyoti Prakash, Lavanya, Padma, Sai Supna. What is scientific method? Anyone? Okay, listen here. Scientific method is nothing but here involvement of science, involvement of computers, involvement of the calculators. Okay, science we are giving importance here. Scientific method employed for problem solving and decision making by the management. See, if you want to calculate a big number, you will take the help of computer, yes or no? Yes. You will take the help of calculator, yes or no? Yes. Okay, if you manually, if you go for calculation, okay, it will take some extra time and time consuming. And if you enter some, nowadays you observe carefully, nowadays we are in a computerized situation, a computerized stage here. If you enter the data with the help of only one click, what exactly you are going to expect, that information will be displayed on the screen. Okay, with the help of only one display, with the help of only one display, we are going to discuss and we are going to take that decision. Okay, so it is very easy for the decision maker to explore the policies for attaining the predetermined objectives. In short, quantitative techniques are inevitable in decision making process. So you see the classification of quantitative techniques, and there are different types of quantitative techniques. We can classify them into 3 categories. They are mathematical quantitative techniques, statistical quantitative techniques, programming or operation research quantitative techniques. So these quantitative techniques, QT subject is categorized into these 3 categories. The first category is mathematical quantitative techniques, statistical quantitative technique, programming or operations research quantitative technique. Okay, so we will see the first one, that is mathematical quantitative techniques, a technique in which algebraic, geometric, arithmetic and calculus approaches and the concepts of quantitative data are used along with the principles of mathematics known as mathematical quantitative techniques here. So then permutations and combinations will be there. In permutations means here arrangement of objects in a definite order. So there will be a proper order will be there. The number of arrangements depends upon the total number of objects here. See, we are going to arrange it in a definite order here according to the total number of objectives. Okay, according to that object only we are going to arrange systematically here the number of objects taken at a time for arrangement. Combination means here selection or grouping objects without considering their order. Then next, set theory. Set theory is a modern mathematical device which solves various types of critical problems here. So see, matrix algebraic determinations, differentiation, integration, different differential equations, all these comes under mathematical quantitative techniques here. So just I am reading the only the names what actually involved here. So please take a photocopy also, you can. And they include all statistical methods beginning from the collection of data till interpretation of those collected data. The next, statistical quantitative techniques involved here. The technique in which the principle, procedure, and formula of statistics are used are classified under the statistical quantitative techniques. The technique are built in on statistics, which is the science of quantitative data here. So the concept of statistics is there here. You observe carefully. So statistics is the term with multifarious meaning and interpretation. Broadly, the concept defined by the statistician either has a data called descriptive statistics or a procedure which deals with methods of statistics. The term can be described by the following way. So the concept of statistics. So you observe what is the concept of statistics means here. Generally, it is divided as either descriptive statistics or a procedure which deals with methods of statistics. In the view of common man, statistics is a data. See, if you ask a common man, what is statistics? They will say that the data, the figure, the number, they will answer in this way. And some statisticians called it as a science of counting averages and estimations. Suppose you go for any survey. Any examples regarding survey? Anyone? Any word? What is survey? Yes.
Measurement.
Yes. Survey is one measurement. Any more? Any answers from your side? What is survey? Any examples? Any organizations are there to do survey, and why they do go for survey? Any organizations survey?
Research.
Yes, research. See, recently COVID-19, with the help of this COVID-19, most of them are affected. So most of the people, they have taken vaccines also. Okay, these data is computerized. In every information, every number, and how many female and how many male, and what is the children's they have taken this vaccine, that information is stored in computer. Okay, if you go to Arogya Setu app, in that app, how many members till today they have vaccinated the first dose and the second dose, that information is available. That information is called data. With that data, according to our convenient, according to our requirement, we go for counting and we go for finding out the averages, and we need to estimate how many number of vaccines are required for the young childs, young kids also in the coming days. Now the vaccine is going for 11 years to 16 years. See, before that only for adults, now for children's. Okay, this is the situation. Okay, based on the statistics only, they are going to take that decision also. So here our subject is playing a very much important role in the collection of data and analyzing the drawing the conclusions also. So these conclusions are very much important, and our statistics most of the times the true information is provided, and they have taken the decision, it is a true, and they got the accurate and exact answers. So in this context, EFE Cortex and DJ Cowden says that statistics is collection, yes, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of numerical data. Okay, so statistics says that it is a collection. Collection means according to our requirement, which data is required, what number is required. We go for a survey. For example, National Surveys, National Sample Survey of India, NSSO, and Census Organization, and sometimes the ICSSR and University Grants Commission. Okay, some agencies are there, particularly they are appointed for collecting the data only. These data is after collection, they go for the presentation of this data in front of an expert committee. Okay, presentation will be done, and there is a analysis will be done. Analysis means with the help of some tools and techniques here. See, in correlation, we are going to apply one technique that is called correlation techniques. Okay, different problematic are there. Already we discussed in the syllabus. In hypothesis testing, in ANOVA testing, more than 3 or more than 4 sample sizes are there. We are going to apply ANOVA. Only 2 samples are there. We are going to we need to know the relationship between these 2 samples. Okay, we will applying the what we call a correlation analysis, and we are going to estimate the future estimation also. We are going to apply a regression analysis. Okay, and we need to check whether which is the important. We are going to apply t-test. Okay, so from the after analysis is completed, then we will, based on the analysis, all the data, they are tabulated in the table. According to the table values, we are going to write a interpretation, that is called a conclusion. These conclusions, the government, they will apply or they will consider, and they go for coming up with new concepts, new programs. Okay, so here the common man, what they exactly they want. Okay, so there is a group of people, some agents will be there, they will be moving from one state to another state, they will be asking their problems, and these problems will be collected in the form of data and presented to the government. A government go for an analysis, and they will read these interpretations, and finally what actually these common man, they are eagerly waiting from these government. So the government will be taking a step forward, and the expectation will be they are going to solve. Then immediately the report which you send in the form of a statistics, it will be help to them. In this way, our subject is playing a pivotal role. So from the above statement, it can be concluded that statistics is a systematic collection, analysis, and interpretation of quantitative data. Thus, the statistical quantitative techniques consist of the following points here. So these points are very much important. So just I will read the point, you observe carefully. The first one is the collection of data. One of the important statistical method is collection of data. There are different methods for collecting the primary and secondary data. See, different methods are there. You observe, recently anybody came to you to any data for the requirement of any data? Anybody? Yes?
Yes, health survey.
Health survey, yes, number 1 health survey. Any more? Last month there is a pulse polio program conducted by the central government. Okay, so after a pulse polio program, these ASHA workers and nurses on Monday or Tuesday, again they will come to each and every house. They will be asking, sir, excuse me, sir, we are from so and so health department. We are going to collect some information regarding how many kids are there in your house, whether they got the polio drops or not. If yes, please show. We want proof. So for that proof, what they are doing, they will be marking on their nails of left hand or right hand fingers. Yes or no? That is the only one thing that they will remember, that this kid got the polio drops. Okay, again they will be moving to the next house. They will be moving to the another house. So in this way, they will collect some data. Why? Because even though government is taking the initiation regarding giving advertisements on newspapers or on TVs and boards also, everything, some people, they doesn't know where actually on which date the polio drops. Okay, so this is situation. So to overcome this type of situation, also government is taking a number of measures, even though some of the people, they are not reaching the information, so they suffer. To overcome these type of activity also, these ASHA workers from the health department particularly, they will be moving again to their houses. Okay, the next one is measures of central tendency, dispersion, skewness, and kurtosis. Okay, and measures of central tendency is a method for finding averages of series, while measuring the dispersion used for finding out the variability of series. Skewness measuring the asymmetric of a distribution, while measures of kurtosis measures the flatness of pickedness in a distribution. So the next one is correlation regression. Correlation is a study the degree of relationship between 2 or more variables. Yes. On other hand, regression is a technique estimate the values of one variable for a given value of another variable. So one variable value information is available. Based on these information, please find out the information for the next variable. Okay, the next one, the fourth one is index numbers. In index numbers here, fluctuation in various phenomena like price of product, etc., over a period of time, they are described as economic barometers. See, for example, every day, now this BJP government is in force. When the government is came and they formed a government, at that time they started that there is a everyday change in the petrol price. There is a everyday change in some necessary goods here, some durable goods here. So, and they are called the economic barometers also. Okay, they are called index numbers. Then time series analysis. In time series analysis helps us to know the effect of factors which are responsible for changes. Okay, then interpolation and extrapolation. Interpolation is a statistical technique of estimating under certain assumptions. Only certain assumptions will be considered and they will be going for estimating the missing figure which may fall within the range of a given figures. Okay, to find out the missing figures, they are going to check. Then extrapolation provides estimated figures outside the range of given data. Okay, then statistical quality control, where we have seen the syllabus. Then ratio analysis is there. In ratio analysis, we are going to analyze the financial statements of any business, industrial concern, which help to take appropriate decisions. In probability theory, okay, in probability theory, numerical values will be there. Then test of hypothesis. Okay, these comes under here. See, actually statistics is divided into three. The first one is here, mathematical model, statistical quantitative techniques, programming here. So mathematical we have seen and statistical also we have seen. The next one is here, programming and operation research. Programming and operation research techniques here. Generally, operation research concepts is nothing but here operations. So here the number will be doing a operation research, different problems will be there, which will be helping for administrative system, that is government, business, defense and non-business. So here the meaning, the term operation research is coined by clubbing two different terms, operations and research. Operation means action applied and research is finding unknown facts and information scientifically. Thus, operations research can be defined as public application of certain tools for dealing with the decision making problems. According to H.M. Wagner, operations research is a systematic scientific approach for problem solving, executive management here. Then models will be there here. So you observe carefully here. It is a representation of a process or an operation. A model is built to make decision making more logical by simplifying the problem under the study during the decision making process. So you observe the examples here. A model constructed to make budgetary expenses and revenue more logical is called financial model. So different models will be there. So here every year the central government or the state government or any universities or any person or individual families also, so they go for planning their budget for the next financial year. That is called financial model. So here we are going to consider what are the incomes and what are the revenues, and what are the revenues previously and what are the incomes. And here we need to consider the expenditure also. Expenditure also playing a vital role here. A model built with mathematical formula is called mathematical model. Model building providing scientific and logical expression to the problem under study. Therefore, different models are available for different contexts and problems. Operation research models are primarily employed in managerial decision making process. Okay, managerial decision making process. The next one, they are also applied in coordinating activities of various departments to achieve common goals. Then phase of operation research, different phases are there. In that here, phases is nothing but different steps. Okay, to study the operation research techniques. The first one is formulate the problem in quantitative terms. See, any problem is there means that problem should be formulated in quantitative terms. Then construct a mathematical model, obtain solution from the model, test the validity of the model and the solution, implement the solution. So the following are the important techniques of operation research used in business and administration. They are the linear programming, okay, queuing theory, game theory, decision theory, inventory theory, network programming. Okay, in a linear programming technique, finding a solution to optimizing a given objective. The next one, queuing theory, deals with the mathematical study of queues. It aims at minimizing the cost of both servicing and waiting. Game theory is used to determine the optimum strategy in a competitive situation. Then decision theory. This is concerned with making sound decisions under conditions of certainty, risk, and uncertainty. Then inventory theory. Inventory theory helps for optimizing the inventory levels. It focuses on minimizing cost associated with holding of inventories. Network programming here. It is a technique of planning, scheduling, controlling, monitoring, coordinating large and complex projects comprising of a number of activities and events. It serves as an instrument in source allocation and adjustment of time and cost up to the optimum levels. It includes CPM, PERT, etc. The next one, simulation. It is a technique of testing a model which resembles a real life situation. The next one, replacement theory, non-linear programming, sequencing, quadratic programming, branch and bound techniques. So all these techniques involved in the quantitative techniques. Okay, the next one is functions of quantitative techniques. So these are the important functions in quantitative techniques. So we will see one by one. The first one is here, to facilitate the decision making process. See, quantitative techniques help us to facilitate the decision making process. The next one is to provide tools for scientific research. Yes or no? Scientific research, providing a tool for scientific research. Why? Because we are applying formulas, principles, everything. So to apply a ready-made tool, that is a, we are going to make, and the ready-made data will be, we are going to collect. The next one, to help in choosing an optimal strategy. Optimal strategy also very much important here. The strategy which you done to reach that strategy, okay, you are facing a different type of problem. So here optimal strategy also playing a very important role. These type of optimal strategy we are going to see in the game theory topic. Okay, to enable in proper deployment of resources. The next one is enable proper deployment of resources to help in minimizing cost. Yes or no? Minimizing cost is the most important. In business point of view, see, most of the business icons or business people, they think regarding their investment and the revenue. Okay, what profit they are earning with minimum cost. Minimum cost is the most important. So if they invest only 1 rupee, from these 1 rupee, what is the revenue they are gaining? What is the profit they are getting? That they will most of the time. The next, to help in minimizing the total processing time required for performing a set of jobs, helping in capital research allocation. Okay, these are the 7 functions. And the next one is role of quantitative techniques in business and industry. So we will see the role. See, quantitative techniques are very powerful medium through which we solve uncertainty in decision making and enhance project ability and efficiency in the business. Therefore, these quantitative techniques evaluate planning factors, and when these arise, then provide meaningful solution to a particular business problem. Quantitative techniques render valuable services in the field of business and industry. Today, all decisions in business and industry are made with the help of quantitative techniques. Some important uses of quantitative techniques in the field of business and industry are given below. So you observe carefully here. Quantitative techniques are linear program, already we have seen. Quantitative techniques are inventory control regarding stock. CPM, that is PERT, CPM and PERT analysis are there. Program evaluation technique and cache methods here. Decision tree analysis, queuing theory, replacement theory. So quantitative techniques in decision making, the next topic here. So quantitative techniques, why and how this is helping in decision making. Decision making is a most fundamental function of management professionals. Yes or no? Any management professional or any type of business, decision making is a fundamental function of management professional. If you take any wrong decision, any point if you miss, then the effect of that point will be there on your business. You are going to lose in a big number. Every manager has to take decisions related to his or her field of work. Therefore, this is an pervasive function of basic management. There are various methods for the process of decision making. The quantitative technique of decision making helps in making these methods more convenient and efficient. Almost every function of a typical manager will require him or her to make decisions on routine basis. These decisions mostly depend on the nature as well as the scope of his or her work. Also, it depends on the authority and the powers of the manager. A decision is a judgment of a course of action that are always aiming to achieve a specific result. For every task a person wants to achieve, decision forms the foundation of it. So to achieve any specific task here, the decision will be playing a very important role here. So, and decision is also called as a foundation. Okay, the manager often chooses the best option from a range of alternatives for every task that he or she has to complete within a given time. Every decision has many consequences. Therefore, choosing the right decision is very important. See, choosing the right decision is very much important. So here it can be said that the entire decision making involves selecting a course of action from various alternatives. This is a very crucial function that all managers have to carry out routinely. Okay, so just see this one. What are the quantitative techniques of decision making? For 30 seconds, just read it. Okay, so what are the quantitative techniques for decision making? While making a decision, there are several techniques that a manager of a company or an organization can employ. So they will implement any type of technique for the optimum profit. Okay, the quantitative techniques help the manager to take decisions objectively and in a efficient way. Such techniques rely on a scientific and statistical approach to make a good decision. The 6 important quantitative techniques of decision making are here. So from these 6 techniques, they implement any one. The first one is linear programming, probability decision theory. Second one here. So linear programming is a good technique, and probability decision theory, then game theory, queuing theory, stimulation, network analysis. Okay, these are the 6 techniques. A good manager or a good business people, they will implement any type of technique here. So the next one is your role of quantitative techniques in business and industry. So just look into this one. Trade and industry in today's economy are under the great pressure of threat of competition. Yes, we know that trade and industry, business and industry people, they are in a pressure because every minute and every second they look after the profit only. So to get that profit, everyday profit will be there, quarterly profit will be there, 10 days profit will be there, weekly profit will be there, monthly profit will be there. to achieve that profit. Okay, they are under a pressure, and they need to conquer that competition. So the tranquility once existing in a trade is totally replaced by tensions, competition disturbances, policy restrictions, etc. So here liberalization, globalization brought drastic changes in the economic system and also in business. So before 1991, see, before 1991, we are restricted, only the products should be sold in the limited places within the country only. So there is no more opportunity, or there is no chance to know the product to other country, other nation. So here the past prime minister, that is Manmohan Singh, he was the uh, finance minister at that time, the year 1991. PV Narasimha Rao, the late PV Narasimha Rao, is the prime minister of India at that time. So these LPG was introduced. Okay, what is LPG? Anyone? What is LPG? Yes, what is LPG?
Natural gas, liquefied.
Not liquefied natural gas. No, no.
Liberalization, privatization, globalization. Sir.
Liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So not liquefied natural gas here. So liberalization means here the liberty is given to most of the industries here. See, nowadays foreign direct investments are coming to India, and our Indians also, they are investing in other country also. Liberalization, liberty is given to all the industry. They can expand their business according to their convenient, according to their requirement. All the facilities and everything will be provided by the that concerned country's government. So that is the agreement. Then privatization. See, nowadays most of the banks and government institutions, they are going from public to private. Why? Because once you appointed in any public organization, so most of the people, so you observe when comparing with private organization and government organization, how fast these private people are there. They never go for postponing the work. Okay, so that is the reason only huge companies, different sectors and industries, they are from public to, they got privatized here, privatization. So today is a bank holiday, tomorrow is a bank holiday, and these bank people also given they went for strike for these 4 days. Monday is also holiday, and on Tuesday also holiday. Why? Because most of the banks were going for privatization. Okay, so privatization, in privatization, what happens here? Work will be done very speed, importance will be given. So those who have highly talented, they will be giving competition in private sector. But in public sector here, what happens? Once you appointed as a government employee, you are focusing on your work only, and the work is happening very slow. Okay, slow. These situations are arising, and that concerned sector, they are getting very few profits only. They are getting some losses. What actually they estimated and what are the predetermined goals are fixed, sometimes they are not able to achieve that goals. To overcome these type of activities, these type of complex situations, all the public institutions or public sectors are going for privatization. Okay, that is called LP. Then globalization. Globalization is nothing but here you are welcoming the foreign corporate sectors in our India to expand their business, to start their business in India, and we are encouraging the startups. Okay, and all the countries also, they are welcoming our Indians to invest in their country also. That is called globalization. So here these globe is treated as a small single village. In these small single village, every gate is opened. You can go to any country according to their rules and regulations. You fill the document and you start your business. That is the reason only this liberalization, privatization, and globalization brought drastic changes in the economic system and also in the business. So here big corporate entities, MNCs, big companies entered into those areas which were once reserved for regional trade, small and tiny sectors, and the public sector. For example, here health, education, telecommunications, agriculture, food processing, handicrafts, handloom, etc. So these are the few sectors. Okay, then next one here, sellers markets turn into buyers market here. with this globalization, seller markets turned into buyers market. All these changes created severe competition and uncertainty in the economy. They don't know whether they will there in the business or they don't know tomorrow. Okay, they don't know. This is situation is also there with this globalization. Then business organization and management became a complex and complicated activity. A simple mistake and a minor negligence may result in a heavy loss here. Why? Because you observe carefully in NSC and BSC, the stock market, the stocks of different corporate companies, while they are purchasing or selling the stocks here, if they do a small mistake, then as a result, there is a big loss will be there. Such condition provoked administrator, policymakers, and the business executives to search for the techniques which can enhance quality standards in the work and excellence in general. Okay, the work and excellence in general. So next one is here. The application of quantitative techniques is one of such attempts made by the intelligent executives because the techniques are developed to support trade and industry in a special way. Role of quantitative techniques can be studied under two broad categories, that is business management and industry here. So category one, business management. Business management involves a chief functions of managers, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, etc. Quantitative techniques are liberally applied in all these functions at various stages. Some of the important areas are there. We will see here. The first one is planning. So what is plan? Anybody? Plan means what? What is plan or planning? Planning means what? You're in your own words. What is plan in your own words? Anybody? What is plan?
ఫ్యూచర్ వర్క్ సార్ ముందుగా డిసైడ్ చేసుకోవడం ఎలా చేయాలి ఏంటంటే ఫ్యూచర్ వర్క్ నే ముందుగా డిసైడ్ చేసుకునే ప్లాన్.
Okay, future work, deciding the future work in advance. Okay, any more answers? What is plan? Any more answers from your side? Any more answers? Another meaning of plan? చెప్పండి నాన్న, వేరే ప్లాన్ అంటే ఏం చెప్పండి. సపోజ్ మీరు ఏదైనా యాక్టివిటీ చేయాలనుకుంటే ఒక ప్లాన్ ఉండాలరా అంట మనం. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? మన ఫ్రెండ్స్ డిస్కస్ చేసుకున్నప్పుడు ఒక ప్లాన్, వి వాంట్ ఏ ప్లాన్. వాట్ ఇస్ ప్లాన్?
Deciding.
Deciding what you are deciding? Plan means what? See, plan means nothing but yes చెప్పండి.
Involving several stages to accomplish it successfully.
Okay, involving several stages to accomplish the goal. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone? Any answers from your side?
ఐడియా ఆర్ అరేంజ్మెంట్ సార్, అంటే మనం చేసే దాని గురించి ఒక ఐడియా, పర్టికులర్ ఐడియా.
Okay, particular idea means we call it go for a small example or any rehearsal also. Before any realistic situation, we go for a small example or rehearsal. Any more answers? Plan means what? Plan. Any
To
more?
go on in a systematic manner.
Systematic manner. Yes, good answer. Anyone? Any more answers? See, plan is nothing but here thinking before doing. Before you are going to execute or you are going to implement, just you have to think what is exactly what is going to happen. That should be thinked before only. We call it as planning is thinking before doing. Planning is a process involving forecasting future course of action on the basis of past behavior of a phenomena and making estimations. Accordingly, programs, procedures, and also budgets are formulated. It is a collection, analysis, and presentation of data to draw inferences. All these stages requires the application of different tools of quantitative techniques. When quantitative techniques are applied, it becomes scientific planning, and proportionately the risk and uncertainty are reduced. Okay, so here before we go for any planning, we will take into consideration the past history. Yes or no? Past history. In the past, we failed. Why we failed? Simply we are going to write on a paper. One by one, we will write few points. In the next attempt, these failed and these points should not repeat for the next time. Then we can easily, we are going to succeed on in our activity. So that is called planning, thinking before doing, and we are giving a importance for the past experience, past procedures. Okay, and any meetings was held, that meeting was completely failed. Why this meeting was failed? We are going to check the mistakes, and we are going to make some remedy not to repeat the same mistakes for the next time. Suppose you are going to estimate the budget, okay, the next financial year, how much amount we need to incur and how much amount we need to allocate to some particular sector. According to the past allocation only, we are going to do, or we are going to take, or we are going to implement the financial activity also. So here our subject, the quantitative subject, the numbers are involving. Taking the help of this number, we are going to estimate and we are going to draw some inferences. We will write and we will type in the system. With the help of this quantitative information, we are going to take the decision and we are going to estimate the future also. This is called planning. Okay, then decision making. According to planning only, the decision making involved, and decision making is the most crucial of all the managerial functions. Okay, it is greatly supported by quantitative techniques. Yes, it is supported, especially the statistical and programming techniques. Decision making is a selection. See, decision making is a selection of best course of action from the numerous alternative. See, while we are taking the decision, we focus and we give importance for alternatives. What are the alternatives? Anybody? What is alternative? Yes, alternative means what? Anyone? What is the meaning of alternative? Alternative ఏంటి అని చెప్పండి.
Similar one.
Similar one. ఇంకా
ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ సంథింగ్ సార్, అంటే ఒకదాని బదులు ఇంకొకటి అని.
ఒకదాని బదులు ఇంకోటి. ఓకే, గుడ్. ఇంకా alternatives. See, we are discussing the topic decision making. In that, alternative means what? Alternatives. See, alternative is nothing but, suppose you are having a problem. To overcome that problem, we go for finding one solution. Yes or no? Yes. We are going to find out only one solution has a common man. We don't know the alternatives. First of all, as a literate and as a educated person, we go for writing more solutions. Implement the first one, result is fail. Implement second one, result is negative. Go for the third one, result is positive. Okay, these are the all answers are called as alternatives. Choose the best alternative to solve the present problem, a burning problem. This is called alternative. So here different steps are there. We will see in statistical decision theory chapter regarding alternatives. Then control. Control is nothing but here. Control is it's just setting standards regarding of a work in a process, identifying the deviations, making corrections and redefining strategies. If necessary, the managers reformulate the policies. Okay, here controlling is one of the important concepts. So in functions of management here, planning functions always look forward direction, and these control functions always look backward directions. That this planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, okay, whether they are doing their activities properly or not. This control function will be looking after that one only. Okay, so the next one is integrated development. So it is already 3. So tomorrow we will continue the remaining class. So till here we completed. So this is the regarding introduction to quantitative techniques here. So the next coming classes, see, we will complete tomorrow within 15 minutes the first unit number 1. Then we go for the unit number 2, that is research. Okay, in that research, slowly we are entering the subject, and we have only very few classes only. In these classes we need to conclude these all the blocks. So in the next class onwards, I am focusing on some problematic also. So when we start the problematic part, please get with the notes, write in your notebook or take a photo from your mobile phone. Okay, so please get ready with your books from the next class onwards and write all the important points also. So these important points and some question I will if we have time, I will give some important questions also for your examination purpose. It will help you to get good marks and to score more marks. Okay friends, so thank you very much for attending the class. Tomorrow same time you will be having the class, but thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.